So I then had this whole epiphany. I just randomly took a phone call. I've always been big into studying and learning and reading and listening to the radio and things like that. And I just happened to, I don't know if I was on a mastermind call or whatnot, but it was an opportunity to basically start my own radio show, right? So in 2010, let me get this right.
Let me pause you right there real quick, because I want to make a couple of very important points. You talked about being labeled. One of the reasons that I talk about failure in real estate and why most agents fail is because they are labeled. They're stereotyped, but not in the way that Sloper was in being real estate agent versus loan officer. It's really in the fact that you're a real estate agent, which means you're a telemarketer, you're a car salesman, you're a politician, and you'll do anything to buy the vote of the voter. And so there's this very negative perception and reputation that you get labeled with. And so as a result, you're hated before you arrive and distrusted before you speak a word. That's the biggest obstacle to success in real estate, is overcoming that gap. Now, the second thing is in real estate, if you can achieve authority, you made it. You're done. I mean, it's magical. But the one thing, more so than anything else, that kills authority is public begging. Again, another thing that Sloper said. So the question that you have to ask yourself always, and this is like a litmus test, would Donald Trump do that? So Donald Trump is perceived as this massive authority in the business world. Would Donald Trump do that? And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't be doing it because it kills your authority. So this segues into my next point, which of course, Sloper, getting into radio, take it.
Okay, yeah. So, I figured that, in order to elevate my status, in order to become an authority on any subject or business for that matter, you have to position yourself properly. And I figured, this is a great opportunity. Everybody else was, saying that they were creating radio shows out on the West Coast for mortgages and real estate. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I could really position myself as a real estate expert in Northern Virginia, DC metro area, and I'll start a radio show. Now, keep in mind, I didn't know a damn thing about radio, not a clue. But I just said, I'm going to do it and I'm going to figure it out on the fly. And I've always had that mentality where it's kind of like, say yes and worry about shit later, right? And that's kind of what I did with this show. I had no idea how it was going to go down, but I did know that I was going to get to tell everybody that I was on CBS radio, right? So one thing I knew, I didn't really know anything else other than I was going to be able to go around and tell everybody else that I was on CBS radio. I got to go down to the station in Fairfax, Virginia, that was right on Main Street, where everybody knew this station sat, where the sports junkies, LeVar Arrington, Chad Dukes, all the big names were. I got to meet them. I was always hyping myself up as hey, if you ever want the introduction to so-and-so, right? But that's a much different play than saying, hey, I work for U.S. Realty Partners, a family-owned real estate brokerage. You should probably come talk to me. No, the questions I then got were, so what do you talk about on your real estate show? Well, matter of fact, all you have to do is tune into the program. It comes on between 10 and 11 on 1580 AM, CBS, right before the Dennis Miller Show, right?
A quick question, okay, because I love the authority aspect, but what was that first, because I've thought about this before. I've always been fascinated with radio. And it took me a long time to even get comfortable to do this show. I mean, I think you're super critical of yourself always, whenever we go into new venture, whether it be the spoken word, whether it be on video, whether we be live to potentially thousands or even hundreds of thousands of people, you being in the DC, Virginia area. So what was that? You walk into the studio, first episode, what's it like? First show.
Oh, it was terrifying, man. I honestly thought I was going to pee my pants. Like, I felt like, how when you get nervous and your hands get all clammy and then you feel like you got to run to the bathroom 3 or 4 times, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm sitting and I had no idea what to expect. Well, the first thing that made me extremely nervous is the board operator shows up basically 5 minutes before the show starts. I'm there an hour early, like reading over my notes, like ready to go, right? So I'm pretty much squirming. He doesn't show up before 5 minutes and all of a sudden he's pointing at me like, go. So, I start going and I'm just like talking. I ended up having a guest on that day. So it was, I believe, one of the other real estate hosts on the West Coast, right? So they started this whole syndicated real estate show across the United States. So I had one of the other shows hosts on, Craig Sewing, which if anybody follows Craig Sewing, he's still doing radio shows out on the West Coast. He's fantastic. I mean, he literally has positioned himself in the mortgage industry as the go-to guy, and it's no surprise why, because he started with radio. I think he has a daily show now. He also does TV shows and everything else. So I have Craig on, and the show's going along. I'm asking him questions. He's actually helping push the show forward because I don't really know what questions to ask, and it's like an hour radio show is no joke. Like, I could sit here and do an hour podcast, no problem now. But an hour radio show, when I started, it felt like it was going to be 24 hours. So there came a point in the middle of the show where, like, I just ran out of stuff to say. And I just basically went dead silent for 3 minutes. I'm live on air, and the board op is, like, looking at me like, what in the hell is he doing? You've got to talk. He's holding up note cards that say, just say something. Say you got to go to break. Say something. You can't stop talking. So, of course, I felt like a fool, and I'm thinking to myself, I probably told everybody and their mother that I was going to be on the radio that day, right? So everybody's tuning in to hear what the heck I'm going to say. So, completely scary, man. I felt like I fell completely on my face, but at the end of the day, I felt like I accomplished something. I was on the radio. I did it. How many other people, would have the nerves and the balls enough to just step up to the plate and just try it, right? And that launched me right there, man. I was actually pumped because it was like an adrenaline rush. After the first show, I was like, you know what? It wasn't so bad. I got through it. Now let's just make it better.